How to create a privacy compliance banner in Store Connect. Okay, I'm in the Store Connect app, I'm in Salesforce, and I want to add a privacy compliance banner which will appear on my website when visitors first come. This is so they have the option to accept or reject cookies coming from this website. So let's learn how to do this. There's 3 parts to this. The first part would involve having the script ready which would be run. This would be a script such as something from Google Analytics or a Facebook pixel. In Store Connect, if you go to Store Connect Navigation, under Custom Content, and Script Blocks, this is where script blocks can be created. Script blocks are simply blocks which hold scripts. In another video, we'll cover more about how to create these. But here, let's assume that we have the scripts already set up. The 2 other steps which are now required is to create a compliance group, which is simply a group of cookies, and then the cookies themselves. So firstly, let's create our compliance groups. So go to Store Connect Navigation, Configuration, Advanced, Compliance Groups. And let's create a new compliance group. So the first one I will give the name Strictly Necessary. These would be cookies which are strictly necessary for the website to run. In the information content field, I can then insert a description of what this is for. I then make sure that it is active, and in this case, this is definitely required. I'll then assign it to my store, and I'll give it a position in the list, number 1. That's the first compliance group. Then I'll create another one. So I'll click Save and New. All right, the second compliance group I'm going to call Analytics. Give it a description, make sure it's active, and this one will not be required. This one will be optional. So I'll uncheck Required, then assign it to my store, and click Save. So now I have my 2 compliance groups. What I need to do now is to add cookies to these compliance groups. So I'll go to Store Connect Navigation, Configuration, Advanced, Cookies. And now let's create some cookies. So click New. The first cookie will be the required cookie. Give it a description, make sure it's active, and then from the compliance group list, I will select Strictly Necessary, because this is the necessary cookie to have the site operational. And then from Script Block, I select the script which runs this cookie. So this would be, in this case, the operational script. Then click Save and New. The next cookie will be for Analytics. Give it a description, make sure it's active, and this one I will assign to the Analytics compliance group. And as its script, this will be the tracking script. Save and New. I'll create one more. This last one is the referrals cookie. Give it a description, make sure it's active, and again, I will assign this to the same Analytics compliance group. And the script for this one is to do with tracking who referred the viewer to the site. Then click Save. Wonderful. All right, so I now have my 3 cookies, and they're assigned to a total of 2 compliance groups. So that's all done now. The final thing I need to do is simply activate the banner appearing on the store. So I'll go to Store Connect Navigation, open Stores, go to my Stores list view, open my store record, go to Content, Privacy, edit this, and then check to enable privacy compliance. I can then add some text, which will be on the privacy banner itself, and then some subsequent text, which will be on the privacy settings screen. Then I'll save this, and it's all done. Let's now have a look at what it looks like. So I'll refresh my page. Okay, so we now have our banner which has appeared. And as you can see, it includes the description, which I wrote in the store record, plus options now to allow the viewer to accept all cookies, reject all, or manage cookies. So if I go Manage Cookies now, it now brings up our 2 compliance groups which were created. And this description at the top here was the secondary settings page description, which I included in the store record. So now if I drop down this first compliance group, you'll see the name of the compliance group, the description of the compliance group, and then the single required cookie which I created for this. And since this was set as required, you can see this is enabled and there is no option to disable it. But now in our second Analytics compliance group, we have the name of it, the description I added, and then the 2 individual Analytics cookies with their names and descriptions. And these ones, because they're not set as required, can be toggled on and off. So now the viewer has the option to enable all and save, disable all and save, or enable the ones they desire, and then click Save Settings. And once that's done, the banner will now disappear. and GDPR could not be happier.